What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hoop Jargon back with another video. And I got a good video laid out for you today, man. But before I get into the content, if you would take a second to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, that'd be great. All right, y'all, let's get it, man. So listen, man. One thing that's going on with the NBA right now that is apropos in the playoffs is the thing about bad basketball. Too many threes being shot. And as we've seen, the Boston Celtics have lost not one, but two 20-point games. And in the latest game, the main culprit was shooting too many threes. Now, before I get into everything, I do want to give credit to the content creator we're going to use, is Uncut Hoops. He does a really good job on his channel to go through certain things in basketball and to share his perspective. And so I just thought this would be the perfect backdrop to kind of, hammer down what I've been saying for a pretty good length of time on this channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the footage.
Listen, man, what the Boston Celtics did last night was an insult to basketball.
19 of their 20 field goal attempts were threes in the third quarter.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the stupidest damn stats I ever heard. 19 out of 20 shots are threes.
11 of their last 13 shots. Brown with the three. Towns defends.
So they've had to deal with all these types of injuries all season long, and they still had the third best.
They got what they deserved. They played stupid. I don't know any other way to say it. They played stupid. And there's nothing more frustrating as an onlooker than to watch a team that is more intent on winning its way than winning, period.
And stop it real quick.
They played offense.
See, I can't go too far with this, man. 45 missed three-point field goals is crazy. That's crazy. Because we all learned, man, if you play basketball past goddamn JV, listen, man, if you're missing your shot, what do they say? Step on in, get you some money. Move the ball around. Move without the ball, get you an easy layup. And for this to be for the defending NBA champions, this shit is embarrassing. But the crazy part is seems to be an underlying trend that we've seen for some time. You guys remember from a few years ago, like that, famous video was a 3-on-1 fast break, I believe, with the Denver Nuggets before they won the championship. And they were down 2, and they had a wide open layup opportunity, but instead they shot the 3 to try to win. This has kind of been, a undergrowing underbelly of this new culture of analytic shooting. And I gotta say, Daryl Morey, I got hella smoke with you. Daryl Morey started this super analytic basketball, type of evaluation about 12, 13 years ago with the Houston Rockets with James Harden. And what you're seeing now is it's on steroids now. Now listen, in sports like baseball, does it work? Yeah. Analytics are good because it's not what they call it, it's an anaerobic sport. But an aerobic sport where you got like constant back and forth with guys playing offense and defense in succession, you got a lot of things you don't factor in. So I'm just not a fan of it. So to point this out, man, what Boston's done, which, listen, man, I think Boston put up a really good effort last year, to win the championship and all that. But them to devolve into this style of basketball, I'm just going to call it out, man. It's some bullshit. Let's go.
Like there was 3 seconds left in the game. Every guy that caught the ball.
Number 20 in the regular season in the NBA. 2-point shot.
No need to panic. There's a lot of time left in this ball game.
White for 3. No. Rebound. Holiday controls. Spinning 3. No.
As I'm sure you guys know, when it comes to sport of basketball, the game is constantly changing, evolving, and taking new forms. And looking at our current era of basketball, it's quite simple. It's the era of pace and space, hunting mismatches, taking threes, the run and gun era. And look, for some fans, this brand of basketball, they love it, they eat it up. It's the best basketball to them. Other fans, they despise it. Look at this year's playoffs. Most teams at this point, they played 7, 8 games, definitely under 10 games. But even with that being said, the single game most missed threes in a game record has been broken not once, twice, but 3 separate times. The first time the Heat versus the Cavaliers, next time Minnesota versus LA.
All right, stop it. See, this is why I like Uncut Hoops channel, because he gives you the breakdown of every year And so these are quick stats that you can take with you. So it's becoming more prevalent in this current era. And listen, man, again, as a hoops purist, so again, over here, I practice authenticity. And because I played at a pretty high level, I coached at a pretty high level. So I'm not saying I'm the end-all, be-all to say, I.e. the arbiter of basketball. But what I can say is, this is trash. Basuda, this is trash. So I'm glad, he has to let it out this way, because this leads to, we talked about the NBA a few weeks ago having an image problem. And one of the parts of it, the activists and people, taking their personal brands above the NBA shield, but also is this horrible basketball play, this horrible pacing. Like, you can't tell me in a freaking half, out of 19 attempts, 18 of them were three-pointers? What? Roll the clip, man.
Last but not least, the Celtics versus the Knicks, who missed a staggering 45 threes.
To three or not to three? For the Celtics, that really isn't in question.
With a half minute to go in the first quarter, free Tatum.
The team confirmed he is questionable to return. Also, no additional word on Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, watch out.
Oh, wow.
Listen, man, what the Boston Celtics did last night was an insult to basketball, in my opinion, man. That's an abomination. An abomination offensively to play the way they played. And look, if people are going to sit there, well, that's how they play all the time, man. Live by the three, die by the three. What are you talking about? Watch the game.
And looking at Knicks Celtics game 1 in Boston.
All right, stop it real quick. And so, man, listen, man, Tim Legler is correct. It's an embarrassment to the game. And so, again, these analytic geeks will tell you that, oh, well, 3 points is better than 2 points. Won't you rather have 3 than 2? Yes, but the percentage drops because it's a higher, difficult, further shot, right? So it's just like me in sales, man. In the sales floor, I'm a volume guy. So meaning I'm going to sell to the high, the low, i.e. discounting. So in my world, if you discount, you make less money. But also the thing is the bird in the hand, two in the bush theory. So if I don't discount at all, the person has a higher propensity to leave, I make nothing. So ultimately speaking, this is a direct, analogy to basketball, whereas, yeah, the three-pointer has the higher reward, but you got to take the twos as well to balance things out. So me, I take the ones people who don't want a discount, who want the service, and the ones who do. I work with them to make a deal, and they all come together to make a good salary. Same thing with basketball. So it kills me when people only look at it from a standpoint of getting the maximum return on it, but not considering the failure part. And I gotta say this, it's always the people who didn't play basketball who have that mentality, because you ain't got no sweat in the game, man. Go ahead and run it, man.
This game, the Celtics took a staggering 63s. Total shots taken, only 97. Boston this game, they were jacking up threes like nobody's business. And look, taking threes, that's the baseline problem. Beneath that, it goes way, way deeper. Here's some context. First off, the type of threes you're taking. Are they catch and shoot threes and rhythm threes? Are they threes with ball movement or without ball movement? A lot of Boston's threes were contested, they were step backs, really difficult shots.
And Boston's offense, number 2. 3, Tatum. Tatum's on top. And Towns will defend.
They've been intentional on that.
Stop it again.
That's terrible.
See, and that was very apropos of Charles Barkley being there. Because analytics, you know how you say, analytics, not what he kind of says in this southern drawl. So with analytics, it doesn't factor in someone closing out hard on you. It does not factor in someone stepping in and just playing good defense, staying in front. It's just saying that you shoot X amount of shots, and the propensity is you'll make Y amount of threes. And in reality, if you play basketball at a serious level, you know that's just not how it goes. Now, can a game or so, can you get away with that? Of course you can. But we're talking about, from a longevity standpoint, and I'll kind of crystallize my point here. They mentioned the Rockets being on that list for shooting bad amount of threes and missing them. That's what got them beat playing the Warriors. back when, and then they just lost again in the series, but we're talking prime Steph, prime Draymond, prime Harden, and so on and so forth with Chris Paul. It's because, listen, man, you can't cheat the game. You can't cheat the game. You got to go out there and get all money. And listen, man, you get the short stuff, you get the long stuff, but you get good shots. It's a such thing called scoring in your scoring pocket, shooting in rhythm, like Uncut just said. But when you're just shooting just to get the percentages out, that's called spamming. So when you're spamming, you're trying to cheat the game, with the algorithm of the percentages. And at the end of the day, that's just not a successful way to go, man. So I hope Boston corrects this shit because, again, as a basketball sports purist, I can't watch that, man. Let's go ahead and run it.
By one, Tatum with the ball, 21 and 15. It's a three by Tatum. Tatum on top, step back, three, no! Shot clock at 6. Now over Robinson, 3, no!
Now part 2, time and place. In this game, do you have the lead, are you up, or are you trailing? Do you need threes desperately at the start of the shot clock? This game for Boston, they didn't need that.
And here we go. In the regular season, Boston beat them 4 games to none.
And let me say this too, go stop it. Guys, in basketball, there's a such thing as choking a team out. Meaning you're using the whole shot clock to methodically work somebody down mentally. When you take quick shots and you're not hitting them like that, what you're doing is creating a lot of possessions and you're giving opportunity for your opponents to, get their stuff on. And this is pretty, reminiscent of when I played my junior year in college. We played against University of Richmond, the Spiders. And I remember we went up by 10, 15 points. We played in a tournament in Louisville. And all they started doing is back cutting us to death. Like all they doing, so that they ran the Princeton offense. If you guys know, if you guys know basketball, It's a lot of back cuts. It's very boring. But they methodically whooped our ass. And they choked us out because we were, looking to be athletic and we run a matchup zone. So we wanted to get opportunities, get steals, get on the break, and they just slowed us down and just methodically worked our ass. So there's more than one way it's going to catch. So you can come out there and you can tell me that this new version of basketball, you just shoot, a trillion shots and go for the percentages. But basketball has shown you many iterations over that variety wins, strategy wins. So as you see all those contested shots, and not to pick on the Celtics, you see this shit everywhere. This is not good basketball, man. This is not good basketball. Let's go ahead.
The other way is Holiday. Bad hamstring and all the 3. No. Celtics already in the bonus. Here's a 3 from Tatum. Wow.
There's good and there's not good. This is not good.
Number 20 in the regular season in the NBA. 2-point shot. He's got 14 rebounds. In the corner, White 3.
No need to panic. There's a lot of time left in this ball game.
White for 3. No. Rebound. Holiday controls. Spinning 3. No.
See, stop it. See, this is the influence that this new era has had because Drew Holiday knows better. This is a guy I actually coached against back in 2009. My team, Prairie View Enemy University, we played against UCLA. And Drew Holiday didn't play nothing like this right here. So this is making, and he's an older guy now. I would put him in about 33, 34, 35 maybe. Like, you're trying to be with the Joneses, whereas you got a fresh offensive rebound, which means a fresh 24-second clock, and your first instinct is to catch and shoot. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? And again, to bring it all back to how we started, the NBA has an image problem. Viewership has been down, 52%? It's because this shit is unwatchable. This is unwatchable. And I'm glad. Now, as a hoop fan, I respect Boston and all that. Being a Laker fan, I hope they lose every game. But this is an L for me because I'm watching this shit, right, as a sport that I dedicated damn near my life to. Watching this garbage. That's garbage, man. That's garbage. So the players lose, the coaches lose, and us sitting here back, the peanut gallery We lose too because we don't want to watch it. And you know what's happening? We're not watching it. Let's roll it.
Here is the nuance of the too many threes argument. It's not just too many threes being taken that's the only problem. It's the type of threes being taken, when they're being taken, in the context of those threes. Boston Game 1 versus New York, that was bad basketball, dumb basketball. And look, for someone like Joe Mazzulla, he is a great head coach. But Joe's one big-time problem, he's too stubborn, almost robotic. When your threes aren't falling, you're not getting good looks, you gotta adjust on the fly, change your game.
Facts.
For a lot of teams in this era, they're programmed to play one way 24/7, and they have no real post-game mid-range game that makes them multidimensional. And look, I don't mean to pick on Jason Tatum, but I'm gonna do it. Tatum in Game 1 versus the Knicks, in the fourth quarter, second half, he was atrocious. And that version of Tatum is the old version of Tatum. Tatum versus Orlando in the first round, what I love this guy was doing, he was attacking the basket, shooting mid-range, one-legged fadeaways. That version of Tatum, not just shooting pull-up threes off the dribble, off the catch, is a much harder Tatum to guard.
Posting up, Corey Joseph, jump shot, it's good. Can't get a step on Harris, drops his shoulder, turnaround, baseline jumper.
Great move.
Did not play in game 2 with a right bone bruise. Tatum, the step back on Montero.
The dime for the three. Carter trying to hang with Tatum off the bounce.
Stop the video. God damn it. That is basketball. Go in the mid-range and get that money. The stark contrast is crazy. Listen, guys, variety keeps the defense guessing. But if the defense just knows you just, waiting, biding your time to shoot a three-pointer, guess what they're going to start doing? They're going to just start sitting on your move because they know you're not going to drive. They know you're not going to go inside. So I'm just going to sit on your move. I know a step-back three coming. Shit, step-back three is like a BBL for for these social media entities. Everybody do it. Like, come on now. Now, I know in that little montage, Jason Tatum did a step-back jumper, but it was a mid-range jumper. So at least you're making the opponent guess. Again, going back to the Daryl Morey ball theory, it kind of messed the game up. Whereas it's threes or layups, mid-range became kind of obsolete, right? So that was poetry in motion, watching Jason Tatum work that middle, work that mid-range. Because all the greats did it, from D-Wade to Jordan to Kobe, you name it. Steph Curry, right? Klay Thompson. That mid-range is money time. So when people just disavow that, that shot, which is the great equalizer, and you just go threes and dunks and layups, you're bastardizing the game. And your boy Hoop Jargon I can't chop with that. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead.
Defenses like the Knicks and Lakers, when they see players like Edwards and Tatum taking 10, 15 threes, they absolutely love it. And it's not them just missing threes. And those guys are taking threes. They're not being aggressive, getting paint touches, getting people in foul trouble. Tatum and Edwards jacking up threes is a disservice to the fans, the team, and themselves. As their overall offensive games, what they could be is multidimensional. But time and time again, what they revert to is shooting threes and being robotic.
The target center in 4 years. It's been since 2021 as Edwards misses badly.
18-3 of the night for Golden State. When you outscore a team by 39 from three.
The shooting for you, we just got the numbers that you guys going 12 for 76 over the last 2 games is the worst three-point shooting in the history of the NBA playoffs.
Anthony's hilarious. Terrible shot.
To put the Lakers to bed, and you come out with 2 soft shots here. Making 3. Look at this.
Let me stop it real quick. Now, speaking of Ant-Man, now I love me some Ant-Man because I love his the way he approaches the game. I love his, he has this braggadocious, mentality. But your boy was catching ghosts in the late part of those games in the series. He lucky his goddamn teammate stepped up. And Ant-Man has this problem where he takes too long sometimes to develop his shot, and he settles a lot, right? So I got to be honest. I like you. I see a lot of that too, and I'm glad that got a highlight in this video. Again, not just picking on Boston. It's just running rampant in the league. So listen, man. Like Pimpin say, man, y'all giving the game a black eye, man. Y'all giving the game a black eye. Come on with it, man. Let's go.
Protecting. Cross-court Edwards. He'll fire over Vanderbilt.
To put the Lakers to bed, and you come out with 2 soft shots here. Look at 3. Look at this. What is going on with Minnesota?
Edwards in Game 5 versus the Lakers took 11 threes and had 0 makes. And like I said earlier, that's the baseline problem. And having a bad shooting night, that happens, everyone's human. But the problem with Edwards in that Game 5, this off-shooting night, he wasn't attacking the paint, getting to the rim. Playing a team like LA with no real center, you have to do that. That's why I say basketball nowadays, it's almost robotic and an algorithm. And like we see over and over
Stop
in
the
basketball.
What did I say? I've not watched this video. I just saw the premise of it, and I knew there'd be a great backdrop. It turns to an algorithm where you're not playing organic basketball. And for those casuals, like, everybody likes to call them, it's not a big deal. But if you're a person like me, when you play basketball since about 6 years old, and you learn how to cut, make screens, do back cuts, do pin downs, to run plays, you learn all the idiosyncrasies that it took to be a good basketball player. It's a slap in the face. And I call these cone dribble babies. These cone dribble babies go out there and just, fade away 3. Behind the way. Going in for a dunk. There's no nuance to the game, though. Guys like Rip Hamilton, same thing. Coming off screens, squaring up, knocking down the J. Reggie Miller coming off screens, squaring up, knocking down the J. Ray Allen, late career, same. That's an art to that. And it should always be respected. And also, Klay Thompson. That's championship level basketball. That's good organic basketball, right? But when guys just step back 3, James Harden, I'm talking to you. That's algorithm basketball. And then to me, when you put that on a spectrum, that usually is not going to win you a championship. Usually, right? So all I'm saying is, stop cheating the game, man. Stop cheating the game because, again, the NBA, you have an image problem, and it's because of shit like this. Let's go.
There's a very, very thin line between being cutting edge and genius and being moronic. Edwards in Game 5 versus the Lakers, that was pretty bad. Boston Game 1 versus the Knicks, that was moronic, inexcusable. Out of Boston's 97 shot attempts in Game 1, 60 of them were 3-point shots. In the third quarter, it was 19 of 20, and for the entire second half, it was 34 of 41. That right there for the Celtics is them at their absolute worst. As in the Joe Mazzulla era, he's doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down on taking tons of threes. And looking at this very season, the Boston Celtics took 48.2 per game. That was by far first in the NBA and first in league history. Second place, the Golden State Warriors, 42.4. Now that gap right there, first to second place, is 5.8. That is the exact same mark from second place to 18th, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. This Boston team quite literally lives and dies by the 3. And look, give Joe Mazzulla credit last year playing that style. They won a championship. But you gotta acknowledge this play style has its flaws, and when it's bad, it's really, really bad. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. The calculated gamble this team's making is that out of a 7-game series, they're not going to be off 4 nights out of those 7. It's a gamble strategy, but it's not foolproof. Basketball has nuance, has variables, has certain things you can't account for. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, that's a good way to kind of put a capstone on that theory, man. It's just like, listen, man. Can it work sometimes? Yes. But ultimately speaking, organic basketball generally always wins. You can lace down especially multiple time champions, they run a system. And in that system, there's discipline, and there's a varied range of scoring. Most recently, we've seen Golden State, right? Then before then, we've seen multiple champions, the Lakers with Kobe, running the triangle. So And before then, we saw the Heat running with, playing solid defense and guys getting into space. And then before that, we saw the Lakers again and then the Bulls before that. So ultimately what I'm saying, guys, is basketball, listen, does it evolve? Absolutely. There's different elements. Old heads like me just are not going to like. We just going to be on some get off my lawn shit regardless. But there are certain elements of that same mentality that will permeate through the duration of the existence of basketball, which is forever. So ultimately speaking, I'm just advocating for a lot more nuance. That makes the game it makes it more attractive to watch. But if you're telling me I got to watch 1,000 three-pointers getting shot, no matter if someone's your face or not, step back three, step back three, step back three, at some point I'm going to get fatigued, and I'm not going to look at it. And America agrees with me. So, listen, Celtics fans out there, I'm not trying to pick on you. I get it. However, this situation right here is a testament that style of play is high risk, is high reward. Well, no, other way. High risk, high reward, whatever how you want to do that. So it won't always work. And I just think, ultimately speaking, when you play the game the right way, when you don't cheat the game, you will yield the best results. And I stand on that 10 toes, man. So with that being said, we'll conclude the video there, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. Again, subscribe if you're new. Like it. And if you think Hoop Jargon, you're tripping, you're an old head, you don't know this, hit me in the comment section because you know I'm going to respond. So the next video, we're going to be out, baby. Peace.